Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining in. We have with us Shishir Hattangadi ji, who's a former Indian first-class cricketer who played for Bombay cricket team from the 82 to 92. He's worked as a selector for the Mumbai Cricket Association, and after retirement, he's also heading the cricket for the Mumbai Indians. Here's welcoming him on Radiant Sports Pick World Cup edition. The campaign, since we're already talking about this, I'd like to actually you've been in the cricketing space for a very long time, since 81, 82, and you've represented Mumbai. Now you're kind of looking into heading the Mumbai Indian team, and you've been familiar. You've had the experience of many World Cups in the past. So just wanted to kind of like understand, now that the World Cup's starting, and especially now in the home ground, and today being the first day of World Cup, what are you? What is it that we're expecting? I mean, of course, it's the world's biggest entertainment sporting event, but what is the extra that we're looking forward to this season?
Well, I've seen a generation of World Cups right from the time I was growing up to 1983, which was a defining moment in Indian cricket, where we won the World Cup in England, and then of course 2011, where Dhoni lifted the World Cup. So from being just passengers in a tournament in the 70s, 75 and 79, to being underdogs in 83, to being favorites in 2011, and now it seems that we have also, as a country, we have moved on from being just passengers to a very, very strong force in international cricket, at least in the one-day format. So right from the good old days where Venkat Raghun was a captain of India in the 60-over format, to the time now where Rohit Sharma is captain. We've also, along with Indian cricket, traveled the distance to see what Indian cricket is capable of, and the steps we have taken as a country in the sporting field in cricket, to be favorites from absolute rookies or novices at one day cricket. So that's important. The second fact is that Indian cricket now is I'm sure the boys will be under tremendous pressure because they're playing at home. There's a lot of expectation, and also there is this feeling from the country that you must win. I mean, anything less than a win is not is it doesn't matter. So that pressure will be immense on the players. But the brighter side is the country will be behind them, and there will be prayers, and there will be all sorts of things being done in the background to ensure Indian cricket or the cricketers give their best. My only request to the Indian public is support them unconditionally. They will have their good days and they will have their bad days, and like we all of us have in our day-to-day lives. So make sure that they give their best in this tournament. If you lose, then you make sure that you made a good fight and you've tried very hard to win it, and you've lost it because there are other teams that are going to be good enough. And if you win, then don't take them over the top because it's a game. I think every player knows that it's a game, and you could have a bad day and lose a tournament, and especially in the sudden death games where every team is trying to win, and you get up thinking this is a do or die event. In the league, it doesn't matter so much because you always have a chance of coming back. But in a sudden death game, it could be that one bad day that can just finish your dreams and spoil your dreams, but not only your dreams but the dreams of the nation. So my only request is back them unconditionally.
Certainly, thank you. This is an appeal that will be taken forward, and I hope that India is already supporting them, and of course, rightfully said that a lot of things in the back end will take place to kind of send in all the positive energy and the support that can to the home team to get the cup back home. Um, talking about cricket, and since Radiant Sports Pick World Cup edition is also integrating a lot of differently able cricketers, we are aware that there is another World Cup that takes place, and there are not many, but like few that have started participating. Few countries have started participating. we recently learned that India also went and played in England, and the team won in England. So that was very exciting to know, and it's good to see that they have a lot of potential as well. So, considering you've been associated with cricket and you've been mentoring for a very long time, what similarities would you see as in terms of mental fitness in regards to the able-bodied cricketers and differently able cricketers?
I think the parameters are similar in their own space. I think because it's an even match, it's not a one-sided. I mean, differently abled cricketers play against differently abled cricketers. They don't play against people who are more fortunate in terms of having their parts of their body intact, and the skills will obviously be matched against each other. So then the guys playing for India at the BCCI level, but. What is interesting is that these differently abled cricketers always have some quality that God has given them to substitute their handicap. And that is something that we need to understand, because it's like, if one part of your body is not straight, some other part of the body takes control of what you're doing. And we need to appreciate that. We need to salute them for that. And also, we need to give credit that despite all the challenges they face outside, they still have the passion to go and play a sport they love, and that is something that is so much more creditable than cricketers playing for India, because they've got everything going for them. Today, the most we talk about money, we talk about sponsorships coming in, but the biggest thing is the parts of your body are capable of doing what you want to do. Here, the parts of your body are not supporting you, and yet you're able to do what you want to do, which is a bigger challenge from our perspective. But for them, it is another opportunity to fulfill their dreams, to fulfill their passion and their desire. And I think it needs to be applauded, and and we need to stand up and applaud them for what they're doing for sport, not only for the country but for sport.
Totally with you on that. And talking about today's match, what is it? Who are you supporting? It's World Cup Day 1, England and New Zealand. Who are you supporting? Because we know that the rivalry.
I've always supported New Zealand. I've always supported New Zealand, not because of anything, because they play sport the way that it should be played. Of course, they have good players. Kane Williams, world class player. They've got good bowlers in Bolt and the others. But what I admire about New Zealand is they play sport the way it should to be played, and you can never rule them out of any equation any day, because you know that. They will give their best, and you'll have to play better than them to beat them. They won't have too many off days. They know exactly how to go about their processes. They're a sporting nation. They don't take their victories too seriously, and they don't take their losses too badly. So that is, there won't be pressure on them. England's by far the best team in the tournament, but they're playing on foreign terrain, both teams. It'll be upon who adjusts better to these conditions, and it's so important to get adjusted, because this game is going to give a psychological advantage. It's like it's the first day of a big tournament. There'll be butterflies in people's stomachs. How will it pan out? How will it go? What are the conditions? What is the pitch like? What is a good target? How do we go about this? All these things keep coming up in a sportsman's mind, especially on the big day on the first day of a big tournament. But I think this is about psychology. This is about who will have the psychological advantage. If England win against New Zealand, they will be reiterating the fact that they are the champion team. If New Zealand win against England, they will have the psychological advantage over other teams, because they will then be saying to other teams that, look, we've beaten the number one team in the world. Now it's up to all of y'all to compete with us. So I'm looking at the battle in the mind between these two teams more than individuals, because the message is going to be strong after this game.
What, according to you, is the most iconic moment that has taken place in between New Zealand and England so far?
The game of cricket is full of visuals. If I have to, as an Indian, of course, I will say iconic moment is that Dhoni's last shot. But behind that, we won the 2011 World Cup. But behind that, there are so many things that happened to make that happen, and we tend to underplay those because we look at defining moments in the game. So it becomes a little difficult, except for India, to give you defining moments. Defining moments would be, Kapil Dev picking up the World Cup in '83, Mohinder getting Michael holding leg before and running away with the stump. These are defining moments. Balwinder Sandhu getting Gordon Greenwich like bowled in '83 where he left the ball. There are defining moments. I mean, there are other things that these players have done, but they will always be remembered for one moment. Dhoni has done a lot in the game, but still that shot stands out as a defining moment. So for England, it'll probably be something Ben Stokes did or something Kane Williamson did for New Zealand. But I don't want to get into defining moments at this stage because there's a whole, as they say, picture baki hai. There's so much left, and if we go by defining moments, we might just get stuck in time.
Absolutely true. I just wanted to understand, or rather hear from you, who, according to you, is the underdog of this season, who we may be keeping an eye on and see?
Oh, we should keep an eye on. Yes, I think New Zealand. They are the underdogs. They've always been underdogs, but don't rule them out. And favorites obviously will be India and England, but don't rule out Australia. So, you got my four favorites for semi-finals. You got Australia, India, New Zealand, and England. I'm ruling out Pakistan not because they're not a good side. They're also a good side, but they are quite mercurial in the sense they have when they're good, they're very, very good, and when they're bad, they're terrible. So I just hope that they can get their act together, and they can surprise a few teams if they play well on a particular day. And but I still say on a scale of 10, I would give these for my favorites: New Zealand, England, India, Australia. But cricket can never be predictable, as we say. It'll throw up some surprises as we go along in the tournament. It's something that we'll have to wait and watch.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. It's been absolutely a lot of fun hearing you, and I hope to kind of chat with you once again and discuss more matches in the later days.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a real privilege to be on this. More so because I'm told that the para sportsmen are going to be commentating and giving their views. I think we need to make space for them in the media, in the cricketing space, outside the field of play, where their opinions are heard. And I'm very emotional about this, not only for the fact that they are my real heroes. It's much like the people in the army. They are my real heroes. Cricket is all about playing a sport. But when you play a sport, despite all your handicaps, physical handicaps, then I think you deserve much more than what you're getting. And we as a society should give them that space to be heard, to voice their opinion, and also listen to their perspective. Because for me, that their voice is very important to the game growing beyond where it is just now.
Absolutely. And you would be happy to know that there are about 15 para cricketers who are joining the campaign, and they're going to be speaking about each and every match on a daily basis. So thank you so much once again for joining in, supporting them, extending your voice and your platform for them. I'm sure it means a lot, and here's hoping that we get equal.
It doesn't mean Radhika, it doesn't mean a lot to them. It means so much to me because I think I need to thank them for being there. Without them, we'd be nobody. And frankly, it's not. I don't think you need to thank me for this. It's just my duty, and I just feel we need to do this. It's a social responsibility. We need to all put our hands together, hold each other's hands, and make sure we can do whatever. We are not saying help, just do whatever.
I know. Here's hoping. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Pleasure.
your time.
Thank you.